December and January have been pretty mild months here in Ohio. But February, February is a month all of its own so far. It's held us up quite a bit, getting parts in and getting things done here at the shop. But so far we've weathered the storm pretty well, and today, everybody's here working. Jeremy's working on putting floor pans in Vicky's truck, and Kenny's working on staining these boards. He's already got the top side done. Now he's flipping them over after they've dried and staining the other side. We're very fortunate that we've never lost power throughout all this ice and snow that we've gotten here the last few days. I went out and bought a brand new generator just in case we lost power, but you know how that goes. As long as I've got a generator on hand, the power will never go out. At least I hope so. I'm sure this isn't the last of the bad weather for the year, and at least we're prepared if it happens again. Anyway, back in the shop, we're all staying plenty busy where it's nice and warm. Jeremy is dealing with my parts purchases. These floor pans don't fit worth a shit. He's having to use tech screws to hold them down and beat them with a hammer to get them to contour and fit the floor. He's grumbling quite a bit, and even Scrappy can tell he could use some love and attention. Jeremy had told me that he should be able to put these floor pans in both in one day. But given the amount of cussing and beating and banging, I'm starting to think that maybe his timeline is a little off. At least while Jeremy's beating and banging in there, Kenny had some time to hang some ceiling fans and do some electrical work and get the shop ready for Harley this week. So what are you doing here now, Jeremy? What's the problem with this floor pan?
Well, floor pan is a cheap pan also. It doesn't match. It matches several different trucks.
But so, none of them perfectly.
None of them perfectly.
Especially this one.
Yeah, well, there's two aspects of this pan that they pay attention to. The cab mounting hole and the gas pedal mounting. Other than that, the pan doesn't match anything the way it's supposed to. It doesn't come down where the cab mount's supposed to. And I gotta beat on it and twist it and cut it and relief cut it. And a lot of times you just buy the most expensive panel you can find, as long as they're crisp and clear. Those usually go in pretty easy. But things like this that are budget, very cheap, there's...
In other words, your brother really screwed you on buying cheap floor pans and telling you you got to deal with it.
Yeah, that's kind of why I keep saying, don't go buy the cheap you can get.
Hey, you can't say...
Once I get this tied down to the cab mount, then I'll be able to start slicing and dicing and making the pan look more like a pan instead of a...
So word to the wise, when you buy new floor pans, don't buy the cheap $25 ones.
No.
Call it intuition, call it whatever you want, but somehow Vicky always knows when to come out and check on things when tensions are running high.
Hello. Pepsi, as requested.
Thank you.
What are you up to?
Well, Jeremy is beating, banging, grinding, and trying to make junk fit.
That's what we do best.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Make junk work.
Fix it, use it, wear it out, make it do or do without. That's what Dad said.
I'm not about the doing without when it comes to this.
Oh. So explain to Vicky the problem that we are having.
There's a problem?
There's problems.
What's the problem?
Hey!
Now you gotta bleep it.
Husband bought a not so nice floor pan.
You told me to save money.
Who did?
Sorry. Are you gonna be able to make it work?
Yeah, that was a shit ton of extra work.
Sorry.
I feel terrible about that floor pan ordeal. In all honesty, I just saw them on the website and ordered them. I thought $25, that's a heck of a deal. Yeah, it was a deal, all right. They don't fit worth a damn. Anyway, we worked out there in the shop all day, making very slow progress, but progress nonetheless. Poor old Jeremy, he was grumbling all day about these floor pans, and I couldn't help but poke him just a little bit every once in a while. What do you think, Kenny Powers?
Right.
As right as it's going to get here. Vicky says the carpet's going to cover it anyway. Jeremy doesn't really appreciate my commentary sometimes. Anyway, me and Kenny decided, let's just go ahead and pull a bed off the back of the truck while Jeremy's working inside the cab, so we can start working on repainting the frame rails and getting it ready to put the bed boards in. I guess Kenny missed one of the bolts in the bed there, and he didn't realize how much tension was on that bedside until he cut that last bolt with the Sawzall. It about scared him to death. Anyway, once we got the bed removed off the frame, lifted it up in the air, Kenny started removing all the rest of the bed support rails, numbering them, and laying them on the floor behind the truck so we can put them back exactly where they came from. Also, we want to remove what's left of the old exhaust system and the rear bumper so that we can start wire wheeling all the rust and crud off these frame rails and start painting everything before we put the bed together. So just about dinner time, I get a text message from Allison's dad asking if we're all still going out to dinner tonight. And I'd almost forgotten about it with all the work that we've got going on in the shop. So I thought, well, I better go in and check with Miss Vicky and make sure she's aware of what's going on. So it's official.
What's official?
Roosters at 8 o'clock
Oh, I don't have to cook.
with Jeff
Sounds good.
and Tommy and Allison and Allison's mom
Sounds good.
and you and me.
And I don't have to cook.
Yeah. Hey, wait, do I have any A1? Between the 3 bottles, I should have plenty. Now, Roosters is one of my favorite places to eat. The only problem is we didn't get to go to Roosters. We'll get to that here in just a minute. I went out to check on the boys to make sure everything was good before we left for dinner and see how they're doing. Kenny had already wire wheeled the rear frame, the rear axle, pulled the rear wheels off, jacked the truck up, and had already begun painting the rear frame. I couldn't believe it. Kenny doesn't waste a bit of time. Jeremy, on the other hand, well, you're sure making it awful dusty and musty in here. Kenny's doing really pretty stuff, and you're just making a mess.
Remember what I told you about oil canning?
Yeah?
Yeah, well, it went straight to oil canning.
Uh-oh.
Every time you were going to push the gas pedal, it was going to go kabonk, kabonk.
Uh-oh.
So I had to leave that relief that they said that they wanted you to cut out to give the floor pan strength there so you're not having no oil canning issue.
So we don't have a kabonk?
Yeah.
What Jeremy's talking about is that the original floor pan had a strengthening rib built into it that kept the floor pan from doing this thing he calls oil canning, where if you lay your foot in a certain spot, it pops in and out and makes a noise. Very aggravating. So Jeremy had to reconfigure how he was putting the floor pan in and taper and cut and weld, beat and bang, and work himself to death just trying to get this one small floor pan to fit in the truck the way he wanted it. Now Kenny was making pretty good progress on his paint job on the frame rails in the back. Jeremy, he was as grouchy as Oscar the Grouch on Sesame Street in that cab. The cuss words were the only thing flying farther than the sparks from that grinder. Just before we left for dinner, Vicky came out to the shop to check in on things and see how things were going. She'd never seen the bed up in the air like that on the lift before. She didn't know what to make of that. Poor Jeremy. He's been beating and banging on that freaking floorboard all day, and all anybody cares about is the frame rails. So anyway, we head out to dinner, and Roosters had an hour wait. We ended up going to Red Robin instead. When Jeff and Tiffany got there, Jeff came straight in and hit Vicky with a joke that she wasn't ready for. It was only supposed to be 6 of us.
Table for 9.
9.
Jeff's a character. He hands Tommy a child's menu, making fun of Tommy the way he orders his food. It took Tommy at least 10 minutes to figure out he was looking at a kid's menu. Jeff's quite a character, and he's become quite a celebrity on Tommy and Allison's YouTube channel.
You've got to be very patient. This is not something you can rush.
He's been teaching the kids how to weld and work on race cars, and he's an excellent teacher. Not only has Jeff been teaching the kids how to MIG weld, he's also starting to teach them how to wire race cars.
Oh, it's tragic. Look at that. Oh, that's nice. Look at this. So this is how hillbillies wire things. You just jam a wire behind the fuse. That's great. That's how cars burn to the ground. So stupid.
Wait, what was that tune?
That doesn't matter.
Well, no, I just remember Bill did a quick fix under the car for the headlights. I think that might have been your dad.
Oh no! Don't put that in the video.
My headlights went out at Marion, and we had to drive home in the dark.
Well, that could be.
And he's like, "Don't show your dad."
Was that anywhere near where the head? Was that the head? You think it was?
Oh yeah, I think so.
So we're back here at the house. We had a good dinner out tonight with Jeff and Tiffany and Tommy and Allison. Jeff is a character. I have known Jeff for over 25 years. When I first started racing my Nova back in the 90s, Jeff worked for my local track right down the road here, National Trail Raceway. And Jeff was one of the tech inspectors. And I was racing in street class. I think it was street class. Maybe it was, I think it was street class. But anyway, it had the Nova had a 4-speed in it. And I can't remember what the ET was. I think it was anything faster than 13 flat at the time. Anything with a 4-speed had to have a blow-proof bell housing. And I was, of course, dialed faster, or 14 flat. I think at 13.99 and faster. So I was dialed 13 something at the time in street class on hard tires with a 4-speed. And I had just taken out like the #1 guy in points. and I was so happy. I was excited, you know. And Jeff came back to the pits and said, "You're out because you don't have a blow-proof bell housing and car doesn't pass tech." And so I was all mad, you know. I stormed out the front gate and I go through the gears and I turn right at the traffic light to go down and get some race gas in the Nova. And I pulled second gear or third gear and broke the hub out of the clutch disc. The Nova had a Hayes clutch in it at the time, some cheapo Hayes clutch, and it actually broke one of the springs out of the clutch disc and would not release the clutch. So that was it. That was the last time I ever raced my car at the track with a 4-speed, is when Jeff Cavalli kicked me out for not having a blow-proof bell housing. So let's just say Jeff and I didn't get off on the best foot, but it was okay. I mean, Jeff and I have been good friends for a long time. I've known Allison's family for over 25 years, and Jeff is a character. They're good people, and they're so much fun to hang out with. We always have a ball. We went out to dinner the other night for Jeff's birthday, and I told Vicky, I was like, "Man, we got to do that again." That was just a good time, and it's always a good time with Jeff and Tiffany. So Jeff he's a very good teacher. He's very patient with some things. With some things, he's very patient. But he's a very good teacher. He's been teaching Tommy and Allison how to weld and how to wire cars a little bit. And so they found something that I had done underneath the dash of the Dart when they were pulling that wiring out. When she had a problem, something was wrong. They were driving the car back from Marion and the taillights went out. And I literally needed a piece of wire and I didn't have any. I literally cut something out of Billy's S10. I cut a section of wire out of Billy's S10 to use a butt connector or something that was attached to it, and kind of hot wired her taillights underneath the dash. And I said, "Whatever you do, don't let your dad see this." But I forgot I was going to make the repair properly when we got back to the house here at the shop, but evidently I never did. I must have forgotten all about it. And so Jeff found that as they were pulling the wiring out of that Dart, and he made that comment, "This is how hillbillies wire cars. This is why cars burn to the ground." Just stupid. And it was something that I had done, which I know better, right? I know better, but it was just situation that we needed to get the car home safe, and it needed to have taillights, and that was the only solution available at the time because nobody had any of the old barrel fuses. I don't know what was going on, but we got the car home. But I just thought that was funny. I thought I'd share that with you guys. But Jeff has become a big part of Tommy and Allison's channel. He's a hit. I mean, everybody loves him. He's very knowledgeable. He's very patient. He's a very good teacher, and he's actually very, very funny. If you ever get a chance to hang out with him, he's hilarious. So anyway, we're back at the shop. Vicky's in the house. She went to bed. Tommy and Allison were here for a little bit after dinner, so Tommy could help me add a blog post to my website. So here's what I want to tell you guys tonight. If I upload every day, I'm lucky to get 4 hours of sleep a day. I know, you know, I film all day here at the shop what Jeremy and Kenny or even me, what we're working on here. And then it takes all night to pick music and put the clips together and do the narration and do the voiceovers. It's a lot. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of work. And I don't want to get burned out. And I was starting to get burned out. Sometimes I need to take a couple of days off because I just get tired. I can't function, and the videos suffer. So I'm going to try and start switching over to uploading every other day. And on the days that I don't upload, I'll give you guys a sneak peek as to what's going on here in the shop with a blog post on my website. So I know a lot of you have said that they don't get to see the community page on their tablets or something. I don't know what that's all about. But so instead of uploading to the community page, I'm going to upload to my website, theoldmansgarage.shop. So on the days that we're not uploading videos, you'll be able to go to my website and see blogs with behind-the-scene pictures of what's going on here in the shop. So look forward to that, guys. Add that to your favorites, theoldmansgarage.shop on your home computer. Add that to your favorites so you can just get on there in the morning on the days where I'm not uploading. You can check out my blogs and you can see what's coming. It gives you a little sneak peek as to what's coming in the next day's video. So hope you guys all enjoyed this one. My brother, God bless his heart, I give him a ration of shit. My brother and I have not always gotten along the best. We have clashed many times over the years, but as he's grown older and I've grown older, I think we've both gotten a little wiser and a little bit, I don't know, we've gotten closer, I'll put it that way. And I really enjoy having him here. I enjoy giving him shit, but he's a very good person. He's helped me out so much over the years. He's helped everybody out. But Jeremy will probably start becoming a kind of a regular here on the channel because he would like to work on hot rods for a living, and I would like to have him work on hot rods for a living. And that may be what we end up doing here. So I'm going to hop off here for tonight, guys. I appreciate you watching. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing. Thank you for the merchandise purchases and all the love and support for my family and my friends and everybody here at the Old Man's Garage. Good night, everybody.